Yeah, still got it.
Still
3
got
weeks
it.
later.
Well, that Nalgene bottle is straight out of freaking Stingray swimming.
Yeah, some BPA in there too.
No,
Hold
it
on,
isn't.
Tommy.
BPA free.
Yeah.
It's literally BPA free, and I
Uh,
use this every day at the gym. Sorry,
actually-
I like to stay hydrated.
Hope your
Actually, I
T
have one-
cells enjoy it.
This is literally BPA free. That's why I got it. It's
Yeah.
Hey,
simple,
what were we
safe,
talking?
and sustainable.
So we were talking
What
about Michael hasn't figured out his phone, and in Croatia we were like enjoying a cocktail in one of the cities. And instead of paying attention to anyone around him, him and Andrea just go completely radio silent, trying to order a new phone
Okay,
so they can be the first
of all,
person.
There's
you
nothing
serious?
remotely true.
That first of all, that's exactly. We were like,
No,
what
we
are
weren't-
you?
We weren't having a cocktail. We were on the boat.
I think we were trying to get like Andriana to like speak Croatian and do something, and we were like, "Hey, can you guys help us out? We're trying to like negotiate." And they're like,
God, do you guys know how dependent they were on Andrano for everything?
"Yeah, that's what happens with the one person
like
that
you're
speaks
not.
the language." That's like in Guatemala, Lawson had to speak.
Michael
Spanish to
Michael
everyone.
says 3 Croatian words every now and then. He acts like he's Yugoslavian all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
No, actually,
now,
so he's better than he used to be because he could actually like say a couple phrases and things. But it is funny. He'll say things and they'll just start blasting back normal Croatian. And Michael's like, "Oh yeah, I don't."
hey,
know
at least I
that."
said it correct. At least I say
Yeah.
it correctly. That's all I care about. The rest will
All right.
come.
Before we go any further, everybody, welcome into the Cellini Rounds podcast. It's been a minute because we've been on vacation and stuff.
3
We have
weeks.
lives. We have lives, both personal and professional, but we're here to do it. Welcome in, Michael and Tommy. How was Croatia?
Amazing.
Yeah, it was great. As good as it always is. It's literally the best. I actually don't want to say this. I mean, it's not like we have 1 million followers, but it's like it's the best place to go vacation, and it's not even close.
Why would you not say that if you had 1 million followers?
So, because it's getting to there's too many people that know about Croatia now. If
Yeah,
this is like
that's-
7 years ago, it's like that's the sweet
Well,
spot.
only 8 people can fit on that boat, so I
10.
don't think that's going to be a problem or
That's
whatever.
true.
Well, I totally agree with that, Tommy. And I mean, I know I'm obviously a little biased, but that's the problem we always have every summer. We're like, why would I go somewhere else? We were thinking about going to. I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast. Because you start running together all the stuff we talked about, but we were talking about going to Puglia in Italy, the southeastern coast of Italy.
Puglia.
Yeah, Puglia, and we were looking at it. Yeah, Apulia.
Yes,
That's the
he has
correct.
to pronounce it different now.
No, the correct way of saying it is Apulia, right? I think.
Yeah. I just said Puglia because that's how it's spelled.
Yeah. But we were gonna go there. We were looking at we were looking at it, and then I was staring at it, and I was looking at the pictures. I was like, this literally looks like Croatia.
Yeah,
I was like, why would I go here and not go to Croatia?
it's the same
it-
sea.
Yeah, it's the same sea, just on the opposite side.
Yeah, man, it's literally freaking Korčula and Dubrovnik.
I mean, and I'm willing to bet that the cuisines are very similar.
Yeah,
So
the
like,
cuisines.
Puglia is great. Look at that.
yeah, and we don't have to pay to stay in Croatia, so why would I? And it's
Yeah.
expensive. Puglia is expensive.
Don't you, after like
Yeah,
a
it's like
week of Mediterranean food, don't you just want like a taco or something?
Mm-mm.
Honestly, so this happened to be in Guatemala. I was eating so many rice and beans. I was like, dude, I gotta eat something that's like, I need some sort of variety.
Yeah,
Then there's this like Vietnamese place actually we found, and someone was like Vietnamese Guatemala.
that's risky.
No, it actually turned out great because they basically just made good Vietnamese food with like native Guatemalan ingredients. So it actually
Okay.
like turned out okay. And but when I was in Croatia, I was like, this is like kind of how I eat just in general. And I was like, this I never get tired of. Like by the end of it, I was like, I still want more fish and like potatoes and pasta. Like that's what I came home and ate the exact thing that was there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
more that's more of our palate. And I eat tons of seafood. I'm over there too, and I don't usually do that, but for some reason I always eat a ton of seafood over there. And then the other part of that is like you were saying in Guatemala time when we were in France, the Parisian food, like it's very heavy and butter forward and very hearty. So, and savory is the right word, I should say.
Yeah. Umami.
Like after 3 days, we're like, I mean, I don't know if I can eat another basted duck, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I feel so,
Yeah.
You eat nothing but like confit everything
yeah,
Right.
I feel like
I get it. It's a croissant.
because it's
Yeah.
country food. It's country
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, it is.
It's like it's hearty.
And I realized,
Yeah,
you know,
It's
the
meant to like
breeze
you
is-
eat that and then you go work with cows in the farm for like the next 8 hours.
right. But and I know the Parisians don't eat like that every day. But when you go to France and you're trying to visit and try to go to like every French restaurant you can, then that's like we were kind of like burnt out at the end. But the Mediterranean food, I don't get sick of. I just don't.
Yeah, we were actually like eating all that stuff, the fish, and I know people have said this in the past, but it's like I like literally didn't have any GI issues. We drank all the time when we were there. We had so much wine
All the time.
Like
Yeah.
I didn't have any acid reflux when I was there, like no cramps besides that one bout of food poisoning I had for a couple hours. But then
Yeah. Tommy ate some bad pizza at one of the shops in town.
and
You mean
VAR,
shot,
yeah,
shot pizza. Oh,
It was
I
like-
would.
it was
I was
like-
going to guess VAR. VAR
Yeah,
would be the
VAR.
place to get sick.
Midnight shop pizza. Midnight
no.
tourist
just cheese laying
in
out for all
town.
day long. Yeah,
Ooh.
it was probably it's the exact thing you think of. Versus yeah, exactly. But it's like outside of that, like Caitlin and I both, like Caitlin has like IBS issues and stuff like that. And we had no issues in Croatia because the food's just like
Oh, that's good.
fresh, organic. It's perfect. And then you come back
Yeah.
here and literally the next day, I was like, oh my God, my stomach hurts again.
Yeah, pretty much. It is
So
crazy
this-
how that works.
This is the boat that you were on.
The breeze.
Yeah, that's the breeze, the Adriatic breeze. I posted a vlog on my channel if anybody cares to watch it. Showing the boat off a little bit and a little bit of what we did. It wasn't too long. I mean, I didn't want it to make it like a 30-minute video of my
26 meters.
vacation.
That's a gorgeous little webpage they got.
And I
Look at
have to
that.
say, the hardest part, last time we were on the boat together, the 6 of us went, our wives and girlfriends at the time.
The fish looks
And-
okay.
And I didn't want to film at all when I was there because I was just enjoying it. And then this time I was like, all right, I'm going to film a vlog because I want to show off the boat and I want to show off like how awesome Croatia is. But then we were like constantly, we're just like talking and having fun and just enjoying so much of the time that like it was so hard to pull out and
Yeah.
vlog.
Dude, it's like the ultimate in like relaxation because you can literally just be like, okay, we're now going to do nothing except swim the Adriatic all day.
Yeah.
And then like eat the best meal ever afterwards. It's like super fresh. And you're like, okay, perfect. Now we're done.
Dr. Cellini, here are your quarters.
So stupid. We Mike, you remember what was that one like bay we swam in one of the first few days we were there? It was like,
Green Day.
yeah, it was that one.
Yes, Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was Green Bay, Wisconsin. God, I can't remember what it was, but that's like the epitome of like going to Croatia and swimming in the Adriatic.
And
Did
the
you
good
like
thing is-
everybody that you were with?
Yes.
Yeah, the
Were there
crew
any
was-
fights?
I mean, obviously people like couples will fight and bicker, you know, because you're in close
Nice.
quarters, but nothing like crazy. Like, you know, nothing game changing. That's
No.
gonna be like, oh, this
No.
sucks. This trip's over.
Yeah,
Right.
We're not like the Real Housewives of like you know.
Remember that-
whatever.
We had when we went as a family 3 years
Housewives.
ago, there was that one morning where just like team morale was low and like everybody hated each other.
Yeah. I mean, there was one night we were like everyone's tired and cranky and well, I mean, you drink all day, you're full, and like it's hard. We had 10 people, so it's hard to like find. I mean, this is Europe, you know. This isn't like Applebee's. Trying to find a spot for 10 people on
yeah,
a night in a popular town is hard. Last minute,
yeah.
you know. But
Caitlin always brings up that one time when we were like all fighting that one day. It's because all we wanted to do was swim, and there was the more sea urchins that I've ever seen. It was like an army of sea
Yeah.
urchins on the beach, and none of us had like swim shoes. We were like, we can't swim here. What is going
Yeah.
on?
So many sea urchins.
Marinko was like, oh, you can just swim off the boat. We're like, oh,
We're like, no, we can't, Marinko.
yeah.
but you know what's funny, Tommy, is like we didn't even really encounter any sea urchins this time.
No, I saw like 3.
Like
So
literally
funny.
none. And there were so many swimming. We did a basically a complete different route too.
Yeah,
Where I mean, we went to some cool spots too. I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wish
mean,
we got to go to Vis, but the
These, yeah,
yeah, but the weather
the
kinda
weather's
stopped that.
bad. I know. I really wanted to go
Well.
there, but it's a long trip and the weather is bad. So
I'm
Well,
sure,
you know,
I'm
I'm
sure at
glad
some
you
point
guys
I'll-
had fun.
yeah,
it is what it is. I'm not going to beat a dead horse here and talk about this all day, but it was amazing. And
Yeah. highly
You can
recommend
edit.
Croatia as
yeah.
a destination.
You know what I was thinking though, to bring this full circle here. I think I talked to Tommy about it. Is the beauty about radiology. That's what I always say. Someone said to
Oh
me
my
that
God.
someone someone said this to me the other day is a built-in retirement package, because if you do IR, or in Tommy's case, breast and stuff, you can just slowly, as you get older, transition to diagnostics into 100% diagnostics. It's like a built-in retirement track.
Yeah.
But
you can literally work 3 days from home, like in your basement, and be like, oh yeah, I'm part-time. I work 3 days. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't have to go anywhere. It's great.
yeah, and we have a part-time colleague who loves it. But
Yeah.
I was thinking is we were hanging out a lot in the village Andrana's family is from. And I was thinking, I was like, they have fast internet there. Like, why couldn't I spend like 3 to 6 months out of the year when I'm older, like 50, work there 3 days a week,
Oh,
not
yeah.
even 3 days a week, 2 days a week. And the cost of living there is zero.
Oh, in Privlica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you make $15,000 a year there, you're like set. And you live on the water in the most beautiful country in the world.
Yeah.
So, and then, yeah, and retiring there, I was like, if all else goes bad, and I like don't have a retirement for some reason, I could just go there and retire off of like nothing.
Yeah. You retire. You could do like, you could probably find like a radiology gig in Croatia or something.
Yeah. Did I tell you when I went there was a radiologist from Dubrovnik who messaged me on Instagram.
Him
and
and
was
these
like,
pronunciations now.
Jim's just jealous he wasn't there.
well, I don't understand.
I'm
What do
very-
you want me to
I'm
say?
very-
Incorrectly? Jim's
Jim-
like, you need to say it incorrectly.
Yeah. Michael, say it
Go ahead.
wrong so he
Yeah.
Go ahead.
feels better.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
I'm glad you weren't there. You would
Me
have
too.
ruined it.
Jim's like, oh, this guy's saying things correctly. It's pissed me off.
Dubrovnik.
Dubrovnik.
Yeah, is that how you want me to say it?
Yeah.
We're in
I've been to
Dubrovnik.
I've been to
Croatia.
Dubrovnik.
We're going to Croatia.
Yeah, Croatia.
We got a
But
boat.
Anyways,
Put our Trump banner on the side of the boat.
what?
We went to where they filmed Game of Thrones. That's King's Landing right there.
Yeah. You think Daenerys is up there, honey?
Oh, that's where they filmed the dragon scene right
Yeah.
there.
Oh, look at that. The dragon.
Oh, oh. Sorry, what were you saying? Michael?
Anyways, what was I saying? What was I? Oh, already I'll just reach out to me from Dubrovnik, and was like, if you were there, she was asking me if we were in town, like her and her husband would have taken us out for a drink or whatever, and like hung out. I was like, I would have totally done that if we were going there. But anyways, it's
Did you
just
guys see
like,
any super yachts?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course, like huge.
Those are always like it's like the pure artificial man-made version of like when I went to Glacier National Park. It's like that awe-inspiring, but it's pure like
Yeah.
excessive rich man-made version
Just
instead of
engineering.
nature.
Yeah.
pretty
It's-
much.
They're literally, it's like got that same thing. You're like, I can't believe that's a thing. And like someone has that kind of money to just like
Right.
go on a vacation on that thing. And
Like the
For-
cost of running it every day is more money than I'll ever make in my entire life.
yeah.
And we would always look them up too, and like those big mega yachts. And for people who don't know, to rent a mega yacht out for a week is like $200,000 to $300,000 for 7 days.
Yeah.
I don't think people know exactly how expensive it is to rent off those huge mega yachts.
For like 10
Right.
people too.
Yeah, for like 10 people.
They're like, oh,
200.
we can only fit
I mean,
10.
you should split it 10 ways for 20
Yeah,
grand.
I mean, it's
you're
not-
getting there.
It's not crazy, but it's like for people go with like their 5-person family.
You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta commit to spending like a new car payment or new car purchase
car.
to go on go
Yeah.
on
For a
7-day
week.
trip.
For a week, yeah.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
that's insane for the people who didn't know that. And I didn't know that honestly until I started looking some of these up, and I'm like, okay, they're like on another level that many people don't see.
It's
yeah.
the Dave Ramsey method.
Yeah,
I think though, like versus what we do with like Adriana's uncle and stuff like that, it's not that. The thing is, the experience probably isn't that much difference to make up for the cost difference for those.
I was gonna say I can't imagine it, and honestly, I don't want a little fancy small piece of tuna with like a flour on it.
No.
I want like a family style meal.
Flour on it.
You know what I mean?
It's like the stereotypical like
You know those
"Ah,
like you know what I'm
fancy-
talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't want a freaking bisque that someone like chef made. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, but that's what
I'm-
they would have on that.
yeah,
They would have
I'm-
like nice presentation and like, you know,
I
Like
want
1 cup
Jure.
of soup with like a little olive oil dollop on the top.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what is
Like-
this?
Monsieur?
Yeah. I want Yoda to make like a pumpkin soup just from scratch. That he was like, oh yeah, man, like a pumpkin soup. And then I have all these fish I'm just gonna grill up masterfully. Oh,
I
God, those
imagine them
grilled
like
fish, man.
pulling out like just the what was like the Queen of England on that Netflix series. She would have like that little hard boiled egg that's like over
Oh
easy,
yeah,
and they just like tap
crack
it.
it and
It's
dip it
just
in.
sitting
Right.
on the little thing.
Yeah,
Like, what is that?
that's so
Right.
stupid. If
So
anyone ever
stupid.
ate something like that, I'd be like, I hate you so much.
What if I just sat down and grabbed a spoon and just hit the egg?
Can
They-
you
they-
imagine having people over and make that for him? It's just
I'd be
like,
like,
"Here
what
you
is
go, guys."
this?
Literally, there's a porcelain cup that's designed to hold an egg, so you could dip something in it on the top. I mean,
Also,
that's-
what? How
eat
does
the
that
egg.
fill you up?
Oh, it doesn't.
I mean, give me a scrambled egg sandwich.
Yeah, bacon, egg, and cheese right now.
Yeah.
Overcooked
Jim
eggs
show-
for Michael.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this. What do you do with that? You dip bread into it? There's no way that's
yeah,
filling.
you're supposed to make a really soft boiled egg, like
Yeah.
something like this,
It's like a cut. It makes it into like a custard kind of
and
consistency.
it makes it into a custard, and you dip your bread in it. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
All right. I
mean-
guess I'm okay with
and
that.
it's part of an English breakfast.
yeah.
Yeah.
You throw beans on toast. Ugh.
Oh,
Queen
So wait,
Elizabeth.
so on a side note, while we were in Croatia, Jim celebrated his big 40th birthday
yeah,
with a
I
surprise
remember-
trip. With a surprise trip. Tell us what happened, Jim. Jim had no
Yeah.
idea where he's going, by the way.
I had no idea where I was going. My wife got this trip arranged. We
I knew.
flew out
Oh.
of Providence, and we connected. We had to connect 2 times, and then we landed in Detroit and then
Where'd you connect, though?
Minneapolis.
Where'd you connect? Did you
Detroit
still-
first.
Yeah.
For the 3rd time, Detroit,
Oh.
and then Minneapolis,
That wasn't paying attention.
and yeah, clearly. And so once we were in Minneapolis, I said, okay, we have to be like going to our destination now. And I'm starting to figure it out. Like we're either going to like Canada or somewhere, and like, because she knows I like mountains and like hiking and stuff.
Wait, what if you were like going to Minneapolis, then you like flew to Mexico?
Well,
the
I knew we weren't
ultimate
going to
switch?
Mexico because we've been there twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
We've already been there. And I just assumed that we were going out of the country, but I guess not. And I was like, where are we going? And then I looked at the final boarding pass, said KSP, and it said Kalispell, and it didn't have the state on it. And I was
You're
like,
going
I
ahead.
still don't know where we're going
I would have had no idea.
on the
what that
final
was.
flight.
Yeah.
And then I didn't, we were eating breakfast, and I couldn't take it anymore. I just Googled where it was, and I was like, oh shit, we're going to Montana. And then I was like, well, what's there? And then I looked on Google Maps, and Glacier National Park was like literally right next to the airport.
Oh, nice.
And then I figured it out from there. So we stayed in Glacial. There's a little cabin. We stayed right at literally at the entrance to Glacier National Park. We stayed there. And there's like a little town they set up in the summertime, and then it shuts down October 1st every year.
Oh, wow.
Can you pull up a
We-
picture of that? I want to see the town.
Does it get, I mean, how cold was it when you were there?
It started off in the mid 30s and it got up to the low 80s every day.
Okay, so it's like
which
cold
is
already.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
where are
they
all
shut it-
your pictures? You had like warm gear on and stuff like that as you're hiking.
So they
Yeah.
they shut it down in October.
October 1st, the whole town just basically goes away. So this is where we stayed. There was like right off behind
can't-
this little.
Can't see it. Can't see it.
Oh shit, I'm an idiot. I'm so dumb. So this is the village that we stayed at.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And basically there's like a grocery store and like a little ice cream shop and like a coffee shop. And
That's
then
adorable.
this is literally like off that bridge. So this bridge where you're taking this photo from, to the left was our cabin. And
Oh,
that's,
okay.
like, and that's in the park right there.
That's awesome.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. So we stayed here.
So
And
does
it
it get-
was epic.
Does it get it's completely covered in snow after October?
Yeah, I think like late October the snow starts, and where we were hiking like in the mountains, like you've only got like a 3-month out of the year window to
Oh,
hike,
wow.
if that.
Really? I would have never guessed that.
No.
I didn't realize it gets. I guess you're pretty high. Like, what altitude are you at?
It stays around, like the town is like 4,000 feet, and then the
Oh,
mountains
wow.
go up to, I think we were in around 6 to 8, somewhere around there.
Did you feel it?
No, I actually didn't. Like the hike was not bad. It was just hard on my knees, but not like aerobically bad.
Yeah. What kind of hikes were they? Were they like compare them to your? What was the? Where'd you do in Colorado with Jason that one time?
Oh, that was way harder than this.
Yeah, that was like next level.
Compared to Hawaii.
Hawaii, well, Hawaii was just short. We didn't do anything long. The longest we did in Hawaii was like 6 miles.
Yeah.
It wasn't long.
No, we did
Felt
a
like
here
long.
we did a 13-mile hike here, but it wasn't bad because you didn't gain too much elevation.
Okay, so it's not like that.
You only
quick,
gain
but-
like 1,000 feet in 13 miles, so it's not bad.
Oh, that's
It's just
manageable.
it's just long, and the whole point of the trail is called the Highline Trail for those that don't know, but it just goes along the mountains, so you just like go over and over here.
Can you show me on the map where this place is? On the US map?
So you're
I-
basically
I-
like in the bowl of like a valley, just going around in a circle, right?
No, we're above a valley, so this is
Are the
this is
white
the
spots a glacier?
yes.
Huh.
And so you drive. I'm trying to get my bearings. I don't really know exactly.
Haystack boot.
There's a road called Going to the Sun. This has to be it. So this is the Going to the Sun road right
Hmm.
here. And then we stopped here and hiked the first day. And we went out to this like hidden lake overlook right there.
Dope.
So we stopped here and like saw all this.
Jesus. I
which
mean,
is
look at it.
just- I mean, it's like so beyond breathtaking. It's like you can't even comprehend it.
Dude, it's so
then-
scenic.
Hold on, Jim. Zoom out too, because I want to see where this is at in relation.
It's right on the Canadian border.
Okay, that's
see
what I thought. I knew it was really north.
That's why
way
it's,
up there.
that's near Spokane.
And then
Spokane.
how do you pronounce it in Croatian, Michael?
It would be Spokane.
So this is
Spokane?
the hike that we did. This
Jeez.
is the,
Hey,
you take this. This is the Going to the Sun road right here. That road.
Okay.
And then you spend the whole time hiking. See the trail goes along the mountains.
Okay, so it's like
It
in
goes
the
off like that, and then way over here, you see this little line right there.
Mhm.
That I can't tell, but one of these there's a offshoot that goes a mile up that is like brutal. You see how steep it is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And
like
it's just a mile, and then you go over there and you see a giant glacier and a lake, depending on like the time of the year.
did you
so
guys do
we-
that?
We didn't do that because this was like this point right here is like 8 miles in. And I'm like, dude, I can't like add more mileage to this. My feet are killing me. So we
Were you
didn't
out
do
of
it.
hiking shape for
Yeah, I mean, I was able to do a 13-mile hike, and I wasn't like,
I mean,
You know,
also, I think we're missing the fact that, I mean, the other thing,
saw these.
well,
the other
freaking
thing Jim
guts?
didn't leave out about Liz during this hike.
Oh yeah.
What?
I don't know if he
That
wants
she's-
to share it on the podcast or not.
Oh, that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
She-
my wife's 4 months pregnant.
Yeah, she's 4 months pregnant, also hiking all this with Jim, by the
Yeah.
way.
Jim's
So,
like, man, my knees hurt.
My hips hurt.
Yeah. He's like, boy, my low back's killing me right now.
Something's pressing on my back, man. I don't know what it is. I need to lay down.
yeah.
You won't understand, Liz.
So, but yeah, she beast moded through it, and it was awesome. It was amazing.
That's a
It
good
was.
40th birthday
good trip.
prize. Surprise.
Yeah, especially for me because this is like my favorite kind of thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good trip for you.
Yeah,
I feel like I would even like that.
Yeah.
you would
Yeah.
just the absolute the
Yeah.
scenery. Like the first day, it was easy. We just kind of drove to some like places that aren't hard hikes, but like the scenery, you can't even like comprehend it.
Pictures
Yeah.
don't do anything.
That's the one crummy part about
Unbelievable.
all this stuff. Every picture you take, you're like, no, it was better. I promise. Everyone's
Yeah,
like,
and then I totally forgot that I have like a nice camera that I should have gotten like a lens for because I saw people with like giant tripods set up on the hike and stuff, taking like 7 a.m. golden hour like photos of the mountains
Yeah.
with those like giant like National Geographic lenses.
Yeah, those lenses are they're like $12,000.
Oh,
plus.
Oh, okay, never
Actually,
mind. Oh, I
yeah.
don't think I did that.
So expensive. Those are for like professional photographers.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
sit up in the mountains for months at a time to try and
They
photograph
probably
a
are.
snow leopard.
Yeah, they probably are shooting for National Geographic.
Yeah.
So anyway, I highly recommend everybody go to West Glacier, and then we also went to Whitefish, Montana, which is the second place we went to, which is also
Whitefish.
awesome.
Well, that's
But,
good.
we stayed in like a really nice lodge right on this lake, Whitefish Lake. If it will allow me to see it. So there's like a little lake beach. Yeah. See, like this is the winter time. Like it's just like you can't even go anywhere.
Yeah. It's not sharing.
Yeah. What was it?
Jim's first time.
I haven't done this in a while. You
Jim's
can
trying to
edit
get
this
the
part
overhead
out.
projector ready. That was Laura. This.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Excessive amounts of spit.
All right, it's not showing it. Anyway, we went to Whitefish, Montana.
Just imagine where it is, guys.
Yeah.
Imagine
Just
where it is.
use your imagination. Close your eyes and
Just picture
Belie-
Montana and then think of where Whitefish would be.
just believe.
All right. So those are that's what we did the last 3 weeks, basically.
I F myself in Montana, and Michael and Tommy went to Croatia on a yacht.
Yep. That's what we did the past
Oh,
3 weeks. Well, then we were gone for 2 weeks, each of us flanking weeks, and then the week we got back, we're basically just catching up on life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
had
was
no time for
exhausted that week.
podcasts. Tommy
Oh
was
my
doing
God.
interviews for his job. I was just on call to make up for the 2 weeks I took off.
Yeah.
Jim was probably not working, but
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Jim
Let me
had
tell you
5
something.
days off even after
me-
his vacation.
Let me
just
tell you
with a
something. I
normal
had like
work.
the hardest 2
Let me
weeks I've
tell you
had in a
something.
very long time.
Yeah, he had to work 3 days each
Very
week.
long time. I was solo parenting and working nonstop for 2
Oh,
weeks. and
that's
it was
right.
Absolutely brutal.
I actually forgot about that part.
I
It was,
probably do
it
it.
was brutal in a lovely
Oh.
way. I love my daughter more than life itself.
No,
could
Jim,
probably
if
do
you
it.
say it's hard, it means you don't love your
It
child.
means you want out.
Yeah. It means
I
you
wanna
hate
out, yeah.
Beatrice. And
I've never heard a parent say that it's hard.
No.
yeah. It's the first time ever. No, Jim,
What?
you did do back to back. Where was Liz at? She was
She went to a friend thing in New York City. They go to some podcast. And
Oh yeah,
then
that damn Buffy thing, huh?
no, it was something else, or maybe it was Buffy. I can't remember
I
now.
relate it to because like obviously we would have no interest in that, but then I would relate it to like the three of us going to like Two Bears One Cave podcast. And
Yeah,
then,
like I would definitely
Liz
go to
and
that.
Liz and John and Taylor and be like, "This is so stupid."
yeah.
This
Actually,
is
I mean, come
the
on, they
dumbest.
probably liked it. It's funny.
They'd probably laugh.
Yeah, they probably laugh, but they'd be
Yeah.
like, "I don't get it."
Yeah, it'd be some dumber podcast.
Yeah. So got back from vacation and then just got brutalized with work and solo parenting. And then everything is all square now though. And we're back to regular scheduled life.
And we're back, and then
September is a great month to go on vacation, by the way.
yeah, it really is. It's a sneaky good month.
Being
Why?
there the week after Labor Day when like everybody just goes home and then you show up like right
Yeah,
after
it's-
everybody's
Yeah.
gone home.
Sneaky good.
Perfect.
But I
Sneaky
feel like
good.
you kind of risk that you're like, maybe I get screwed over with the weather kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you like push it too, but it's like, if you get
No,
lucky
September, everything, even like that environment like holds it together during the month of September. It's just
Yeah.
like right now is when it would be like, okay, now it's freezing.
with it, you just need pre-snow. I think people think
Yeah.
of like,
Yeah.
they want it hot when they do something. You're just like, but I mean, we like
But you
fall,
know-
cold weather.
But Tommy, I mean, this is 3 weeks after we got back, and like Croatia's been cold the whole time we've been gone.
Oh, seriously?
Really?
So we literally timed it on like the last good week. I think that we should have gone a week when I was there the first week. That would have probably been the best week, but we just had
Yeah.
to, it's hard to work with 10 people's schedules, But I think that last week of August is like the sweet spot, flanking the first few days of September.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's gone. The tourists are gone.
Yeah.
It's just a good time.
It
Yeah.
sucks coming back from vacation though. And like,
Yeah.
oh,
I say the
we
tourists are
got-
gone. I'm a tourist.
like we got back at like 1 a.m.
Oh,
and like our daughter woke up at like 6:30 the next morning and it was just like, okay, get her ready
Yeah.
for school, go to work. I was like, oh
No,
my,
you
I'm
gotta
dying right now.
you have to leave yourself like a day to get back. We
Yeah.
started doing that with all because since we've been taking so much vacation, we always come back on Saturday and
You
have
have to.
Sunday. And
it's a
just have
game changer.
That Sunday to recover from your vacation is the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but flights are so expensive when you do that.
No,
We
not on
flew-
Saturday
They're cheaper on Saturday than on
because
Sunday.
they're more expensive on Sundays. Everybody flies back
Yeah, but
Sunday.
Tuesday is the cheapest, and so that's why we did that.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
well,
yeah, because you guys can do that like random days or whatever. But you know what I'm saying?
Because
If
we're not
you're-
we're not as well off as you, so we have to do like cheaper
Ah.
flights.
cheaper flights, he says.
We have to
this guy acts like
you know.
$100 between him and Liz for a flight. He's like, we couldn't possibly afford that.
I know.
I mean, I
Jim's
don't know,
like,
I guess
B would have to go without.
we just got to keep our nose to the grindstone, and we'll catch up to Michael and Adriana.
Maybe if you worked hard, Jim, you can be there
Yeah.
too.
My favorite pastime is
You realize how
Jim
many
just-
times?
Maybe you just gotta work hard, Jim.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's crazy? On the mountain, I ran into 2 girls who were in the vet school class above me that like I used to hang out with back in the
What?
day.
Wait, really?
Completely out of nowhere. Some girl goes, Jim Cellini. Like I was in the middle of the hike, and I was like, this like could mean anything, right?
Yeah. Jim's like, I'm getting recognized from YouTube.
Like-
Hey.
But I was like, oh yeah, don't. It's just it's vacation. I'll sign something. No, it was just like an old friend of mine.
Oh, please, no paparazzo, no paparazzo. Like,
Sure, what
oh
do you-
no, I just
yeah.
know you from school. Oh yeah.
I was like, oh hey, Katie. No,
Oh no, I'm on vacation.
I couldn't. My family's
we're-
here. I couldn't.
we had
That was
like a
good.
mile of like hiking together, and we were just like shooting the shit. And I love that line where I look at Liz and I go, well, we just work hard. And I just
Yeah.
I laid that on them and they were dying.
Well, it's honest work.
Yeah.
One of them goes,
It
I
ain't
remember
much,
Jim
but
used
it's
to be
honest
funny."
work. Yeah. They probably have they not seen you since vet school?
No,
I'm surprised because you look significantly different than you did in vet school. I'm surprised they
Yeah, it was
recognize you.
13 years ago.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you're
Significantly better than you did in vet school.
yeah. I mean that in a good way.
yeah,
You lost like 100 pounds since vet school.
I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. I'm also married and maintaining a relationship and family. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
also that.
Still a loser.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh god.
So there's that.
Yeah.
I told them I was a neurologist and they were like, really?
You?
Wait, do we have the wrong Jim?
Yeah.
Like-
they're like, how?
You say it ain't much. It's honest.
Yeah.
Just
I was
honest work.
Yeah. It ain't much, but it's honest work. And then I did my backpack like this.
And then you put a piece of wheat in your.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see Jim
Um,
chewing on wheat the whole time he's hiking too.
Oh yeah.
I did
You-
not
dude,
do that.
I mean, he probably grabs stuff and like chews on it. He's like,
Oh,
"Yep, I'm in
he would-
nature."
If there's a wheat thing, he would. He would the
Oh.
whole hike.
Here's
he'd
the
be like,
thing.
Do you have to?
I was not prepared for anything. This is more me because I wasn't prepared for anything.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know where I was going.
And now he's Bear
So-
Grylls. He's like,
No, I'm not
I
Bear
had to
Grylls.
adapt.
No, I was wearing like Vuari stuff, like workout hoodies and stuff like that on a 12-mile hike in the middle of
Yeah, but did she
glacier.
not tell you like, hey, pack for
She told me to like pack for like hiking or something.
an
but
excursion?
I didn't take it to heart. I should listen to my wife more, huh?
Yeah.
Probably.
Tommy, you are interviewing for jobs. How is that going?
It's going well.
Tell us what it's like to be coming out of all of your training and looking for jobs.
It's definitely, as you progress through medical training, it's the best part of the interview process at every stage, because I was talking about how like when you go to med school, they're basically they act like they're doing you a favor by allowing you to even speak to them.
No, God.
Yeah. Do you,
Dude.
Micah, do you remember that med school?
Oh, Tommy, I can't even.
I mean,
drives me.
these schools
This resonates with me too.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
schools legitimately think that they're doing you like a favor, and they're like giving out charity by allowing
Yeah.
you to talk to them so you can give them 50 grand a year.
I
It's
have
like
PTSD thinking about it.
it's asinine what these med schools are like. And they're the most
Yeah.
pretentious people in the world. And you're like,
Like,
oh, you're
you
like,
wish to become
yeah.
a doctor here?
Yeah, that's exactly. Meanwhile, these people teach like
you?
what GPA is that? They're like, ugh. They're like,
You
what's your
think
MCAT score? Literally, it's exactly every dean of every med school is that person to a T.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
like-
wait. You.
Yeah.
You. are
You think you're gonna get in here with those scores?
It reminds me
Okay.
of that picture of Joe Biden and his friends like laughing in a circle hysterically. You know what I'm talking about, Jim?
No.
That meme? Oh, it's the
Wait.
funniest meme. It makes me laugh every time I see it.
Let me see this. Let me see
You
if I
never
can
seen
find
that meme of him like dying laughing in a circle of his friends and they're all laughing? Dude, it's so funny. Not to cut your story off straight.
Oh, man, just derail the momentum
know.
there. but
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tommy.
Anyways,
Anyway,
go
so-
ahead, Tommy.
So med schools, they literally are like, they act like that. Residency's a little better, where they're like, hey, like we'd like to have you here. They kind of seek you out, and it's
they're still trying to sell it, but also you still have to make it there.
Yeah, you have to impress them just as much as they're trying to sell you. Fellowship, it seemed like, I don't know if you remember this, Michael, but it's like they're trying to sell you,
Yeah.
but it's still like fellowship, so you're not like fully really doing much for them. They're just, but you definitely feel it. You're like, oh, they want, if they're interviewing me, they
Yeah.
want me here, and so they're trying to make me choose them. Where it's
They're
like,
still fellowships. The last part, they're still like, hey, we want you here, but also just know that we can fill this spot with someone else.
yeah. There's yeah, it's still like this weird competitive thing, and you're like, all right, I get it. You're like a good school, whatever. But it's like the last thing. And then jobs, it's purely like them selling you.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
you're like, if they're giving you an interview, all they care about is they're like, I would need to show you why you should be here. And they're like, you don't have to impress me at all. So
Yeah.
it's like,
That's
it's
what
great.
I was telling I guess was I telling Caitlin or I was telling Androna. I think Androna and Caitlin were talking or something. And they're like, and Androna was like, oh, Tommy has an interview today. She's like, oh, I wish him luck. And I was like, he doesn't need luck because like he doesn't need to do anything.
Yeah. That's
Like,
I think it was in our group text.
Oh, was
Like,
it?
with the-
I was like, them inviting Tommy on an interview means that like, hey, this is your job as long as you're not like, you
a
know,
weirdo.
you don't mess this up.
Yeah. And so
You know, you don't show up like naked or something.
yeah,
Yeah, that picture.
Yeah. This is every med school administration.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like he wants to get in, and that meme I'm thinking of.
yeah.
Is it Joe Biden? I don't know. I thought it was Joe Biden for the
It's,
longest.
This threw me
it's
off
Ronald-
because you said Joe Biden.
It's Bush and Reagan.
This is like, yeah, that's Reagan right there.
No way.
Yeah,
That-
that's old Bush. See,
Go ahead, Tommy. So interviewing is awesome when they need you and you don't
yeah,
need them.
yeah, it's so much better. It's like literally, it's weird because you treat it like all the other stages, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is way different. And they're like,
just give me a chance.
yeah,
Dude.
yeah. You're like, please try and impress me. Like, I need you to like me. And they're like, oh no, we like you. That's why you're here. And you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
they're like,
Bombed.
Yeah, they're like, I just need someone to read these studies on my list.
yeah.
Okay.
They're like, I need someone who's mildly competent that can do this work for me.
And also I can have a conversation with. Those are my
Yeah.
2 requirements.
Yeah, and you'll be
Yeah.
cool, and that's all we need.
I bombed an interview so bad one time for residencies.
God, I can imagine Jim trying to like go a little too hard, like
Yeah.
make a
Fit
joke
in.
or something and just bombing.
Yeah,
Just not sitting at
It
all.
wasn't, honestly, it wasn't that. Like, I was doing
You're right.
fine. I was reining in my unbelievably stupid sense of humor, and I was like keeping it together, which is like, it takes constant effort for me to do that. Like, I'm like one of those superheroes who, I'm like Superman when like he
Yeah,
can't
just
like
like him.
use his powers.
Just like him.
you're Clark Kent at all
Yeah.
moments of time.
If I let go even a little bit, I could destroy the earth.
Yeah.
That's
God.
anyway,
What's that? The
by
Superman
earth, I mean my
movie
career.
with
Oh, let me tell the story. Stop
right,
derailing this.
cool.
I mean, a career.
So I'm at this interview and they asked me some question, and I don't remember what the question was, but I had no idea how to answer it. And instead of trying to think of what I should say, I tried to think of what they want me to say,
Oh yeah.
and I tried to like pretend I was something I'm not, basically, with the answer
Yeah.
that I gave him. And I was just like, have you ever been talking and you're just caught in a run-on sentence because you don't know what you're saying and you don't know when to stop the
course.
sentence?
Of course.
I was doing like a Jay Leno monologue, like on the table with all these 3.
Where was the
clinicians.
interview?
It was in Phoenix at a private practice, and I finished the answer, and there was just like silence on the other side. And one of the guys goes, he had a pen in his hand. He goes, "Okay," and like did that with his.
Wrote down something. Okay.
They
Yeah.
had one of the
Alright.
other doctor. One of the other doctors.
I'll
she had
handle
my-
this.
Yeah, she had no. Listen, so one of the other doctors had my transcript because we have like our own like VIRMP. We call it the VIRMP,
Mm.
and she had my transcript out and my class rank, which was terrible.
Yeah.
And
Hence why the people you saw on the mountain were like, "You're a neurologist."
right,
Yeah.
and she, I'll never forget this. She had a red marker circling my class rank with a huge question mark that she like put over it.
No shot. Are you?
You might as well put an F on your paper.
I was like, well, Yeah.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah. So
First of all,
I think they were. I don't know why they even let me interview.
I mean,
Question mark, huh?
who? See, I will say that's the one thing about human medicine. It's like if you're interviewing for a job or something like that as an attending, they're not going to be like, "Oh, this guy's class rank was a little low." Like,
Yeah.
that's purely something that like med
Yeah.
school and residency care about, and like
Yeah.
everyone else is like, "Who cares?" Like,
Right.
But why do they care about that? If your stores are good and you're competent, why the hell would they
Yeah.
care about your class rank?
like you've gone through fellowship like everyone else and resident, like
Yeah.
you're a competent physician or a veterinarian. It's like, I mean,
Yeah.
could you imagine now interviewing for a job and they're like, "Man, your class rank," you're like, "That was 20 years ago. Who cares?"
What's funny is that like this place is like, it's not like UC Davis or like University of Cornell or
Yeah.
something like that. It's a private practice in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's just I don't.
little
It's like
too,
what do you expect? Like,
I know.
like
Yeah.
Yo, you think the cream of the crop are going to be
I mean,
coming to your
I'm
private
here-
practice over here?
and like what I was trying to say during the interview was like, look, I was like, look, everything, all of me on paper really sucks, but I just worked hard. So,
And so do
that's
I.
what-
In
I
real
was
life?
like, well, and so do I in real
Yeah.
life.
And my personality.
Look, my transcripts might be terrible, but not only is that terrible, I'm also a terrible human being. You guys may want to consider hiring me to work with me for 3 years.
Yeah. Trust me.
Yeah, just take me at my word for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's funny.
How about I can just imagine them looking at your transcript thing with the red and the question mark on it and just like flipping the page and seeing the red question mark and them just taking off their glasses, like adjusting, like,
Yeah.
okay.
And then, yeah,
What
like,
is that
what-
number?
they're like, well, I don't think we have to meet much longer about this one.
I can just see them go,
Who's
okay.
this?
Yeah,
Who's this?
it was the,
That's
Or
them in the
af-
background.
yeah. After you walked out of the room, that's them.
That's the funniest picture ever. I'm sorry. That
I-
guy's
that is-
laughing. Whoever that is laughing so hard.
Oh,
There you go. That's what they said. That's what they said.
It's perfect.
I
That's
know,
the
right?
perfect meme.
oh my God.
Michael, you
No.
might have to propagate that on your Instagram or something.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
God,
I
that's
think I'm
save
gonna have
that,
to
Jim.
download that.
Yeah,
say
that,
download
yeah. That's
God,
so
that's
funny.
Jim, you really missed your calling. I think you should have been one of these meme pages.
Yeah.
Like those pages,
Tank
those-
Sinatra.
Yeah, those
Yeah, yeah.
pages make ridiculous amounts of money.
I've thought about it before because I can.
Well,
If
you're
I was
late now. You're
anonymous-
too late.
Yeah, you're too late now.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not too late.
Oh, okay.
You're too late.
Never too late.
No, you can
Never
be
too late.
anonymous. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I would be anonymous.
That's what I'm saying.
And no, that's what I'm saying is I would be anonymous and I could generate like brutal veterinary memes as an anonymous account.
I mean, not anymore
mean-
because you just told everyone.
Yeah. So if you see a funny veterinarian meme account, then
Yeah. A brand new meme account.
but some of those pages, I mean, they crush.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
hilarious too.
I
And
mean,
that's
some
where all
of
the
them are
funny
great.
memes come from. They got to come
Yeah.
from somewhere. Right?
Yeah.
It's like a crucible of funny.
Then I told him, come in.
I mean,
yeah.
that's exactly what I was thinking of.
It's literally
Yeah.
perfect for all that stuff.
Yeah. That is the most perfect meme ever. So what else is going on, Jim?
Did you guys see my video where Dr. Mike?
Oh yeah. Let's talk about this.
Never heard of the guy.
Yeah. So apparently Dr. Mike, here, I'll pull it up on YouTube.
Dr. Mike Cellini.
No.
Oh, it's not Michael.
The
I don't go
third
by
Dr. Mike. So
Yeah.
Michael, so there's 3 Dr. Mikes. Michael is actually the lowest on this ladder by far. There's Dr.
Okay.
Mike who's got 10 million subs, and then there's another Dr. Mike who has like 3 million subs.
There's another Dr. Mike. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there is Dr. Mike.
Pull that one.
I'm not Dr. Mike though.
Yeah.
So there isn't another Dr. Mike. I don't go by Mike.
Michael, do you have scrub top on and shorts on?
Yeah,
Nice.
I was hot.
So this is Dr. Mike. He made a video where he talks about his dog losing its leg. So I'm going to summarize this. I made a
Give me
video
a-
about this.
Synopsis.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a synopsis. I made a video about this on my channel, DVM Cellini, to watch it. But
Shame
basically, what he did is Dr. Mike has this dog. It's an old husky. And I think he's like a 12-year-old husky. And the dog is living with his dad. His dad tells him, hey, your dog has like a mass on its leg. So they go to the vet, they get it aspirated, and the cytology comes back as a sarcoma, which is very common sort of thing. So then Dr. Mike tells his dad a list of questions to ask the surgeon that they are then going to see. I think they actually had like a surgeon specialist come in,
like an ortho vet.
soft tissue surgeon.
Okay.
And so he has his dad take the dog to the consultation and then does not speak to his dad for 2 days. And on day 2, his dad sends him a photo saying, oh, he just had surgery. Okay. So that's step 1. Then what happens is through some complication, which I don't know exactly. And I've actually got people helping me out to try to figure out who the surgeon was, because I'm going to try to like talk to him. The dog had either like a bandage that was placed too tight, or the incision got infected, or it was like closed and it was like a compartment syndrome type thing where it just like cut off blood flow. And the dog's leg basically just necrosed, and he had to have his leg amputated
from the bandaging causing compartment syndrome.
From one of those 3 problems that I just mentioned.
Okay.
That is my guess, because he doesn't exactly mention, like, let me see if I can find a picture of his leg. He doesn't exactly mention like the cause, but the reason I made a video is because in his video, he describes here in the description, he describes questionable decision making by the veterinary team, and he like does a lot of insinuating that like the vet screwed up and they were too aggressive and they didn't do the right thing by his dog. But like if you go back to the very beginning, he sends I'm guessing his dad is like 70 years old.
Yeah, it's just like if we sent our dad to.
His dad's a retired doctor.
Yeah. Well, and but even more to my point, like he sends his dad to like do all this communication, and then his dad signs off on doing a surgery. And then after the fact, when something happened, he decides to like call out the vet.
It's like you could have played a more proactive role in that. And you know.
Now, are they saying that
That's
the
what the foot looks
complication
like.
from the surgery is the result,
Yeah,
is
man,
the
looks
cause?
terrible.
Yeah, but isn't
Yeah.
that just I mean, still though, there could be a complication from the surgery.
It
I mean,
is.
you shouldn't expect your limb to be amputated.
No, it is a complication from the surgery, but the point he makes in his video is that the vets took this out and the risk benefit wasn't worth doing it in the first place. So they shouldn't have just done it.
Well,
So they should have
that's
just
up
left
to
the sarcoma.
That's up to the owner.
Yeah.
Right. And that's him. But unfortunately,
Right.
he had his dad go handle all this communication and then sign off on doing the surgery without talking to him.
Right.
And instead of recognizing that, he decides to make a video where he really does like insinuate that the vets did not do right by the dog, and like for their own poor decision making, that's why the dog lost its leg.
So, so like, what kind of surgery did they? It was a sarcoma, like a.
So here, I'll pull it back up.
I mean, I wonder if it was did it have bony involvement? Like what kind of
No, I mean,
devascularization?
I don't know. I highly doubt it. Okay, so what I think happened. So he points in the beginning of the video. He puts his hand around here. So I think this is where the tumor was.
Okay.
And because you can also see it's like indented right there.
Yeah.
So I think
they
he tried
just resected this sarcoma in the soft tissue.
Yeah, and
Okay.
all of this from here down is like in the process of just like literally there's no blood flow. This looks like some guy when he comes off of Mount Everest and his hand gets frozen.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no blood flow. And you can even see the toe. I don't know if the toenails are like, they look pretty dark to me too. And that's what you tell people to look for in the bandage. Like if the toenails are purple, take it off.
Back of his paw is black and everything. It's like,
yeah. So it could be that the bandage was too tight around here and that cut it off. Or it could be that this is just all infected. I mean, I guess that's possible too. Dr. Mike also said that like maybe the surgeon like cut off the arteries to the leg, but like there's literally no way that's possible. I talked about that in my video.
What kind of doctor is Dr. Mike?
He's a primary care doctor, family
Okay.
practice.
If it was a complication of the dressing being too tight, that's worse than it being infected. Infection's a known risk factor.
Yeah.
The cast being too tight is not a known risk factor and is
Well, that is a risk factor for this. Look, you have to
Is it?
bandage these, and the bandages, it's really hard to know if the bandages are tight enough or too tight. You walk, there's a tightrope that you're walking when you put these on dogs.
Why does it have
So
to be so tight though? I mean, I understand compression, but like, why does it have to be so tight? Why wouldn't you err on the side of not being so tight? Because it doesn't have to
It
be.
might. Well, the thing is, I don't know why they were having it put on in the first place. Because
Right.
he talks about like bandages after the surgery and how the wound wasn't healing right, and then it led to this. And there's like a week that goes by before this happens.
Okay.
So I don't know, to be honest with you.
So maybe it was
But,
infected.
that's what my guess is. But like, you don't ever know. And
Right. No way to know.
he also mentions in the video how his dad called him, was like, yeah, I think his foot doesn't look right in the bandage, and he waited 2 more days before he like even brought him in to see a vet.
Okay.
So I wonder,
doctor move right there.
Yeah, right. So I wonder if like something was happening
It is better.
in line with what they probably told him to look for, because this is all like surgeons will put a bandage on and they'll be like, look for this. If you see this, take the bandage off and bring him in right away. This is like you do this as a vet student, like you learn about like bandages and stuff. So I don't know, but anyway, Dr. Mike, instead of like talking about his own, like, you know, honestly, he should have just done this himself, like, or like been in touch with his dad and be like, hey, what happened? What's going on? Or he should have made a video about like the breakdown in communication between when you send a family member to go take care of a vet situation for you.
Because, is it my understanding that like when you, as the dad goes in, like he's in veterinary medicine, he's acting as the like owner in this situation? Because even if he's like, oh, because it's like having a POA for someone, but if he's like, oh, this is my son's dog, they're like, yeah, but you're making the decisions because you're the one here taking care of the dog.
Right. That's exactly what happens. So I can't even tell you how many times I've been talking to somebody and like 80% into my conversation, they're like, oh, actually, this is my son's dog. And it's like, oh my God.
Great.
You know, I'm like, are you going to relay all this to him? I'm going to write it down for you. But, you know, and oftentimes you have to have the entire conversation a second time.
Right.
But I can't like the thought of like, say if I sent dad and to go, you know, do this for me, I'd be like, I need to talk, like dad would never just sign off on the surgery. He'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
without asking me.
He'd be like, I don't know. Let me ask the owner of this animal.
Anyway, the video just kind of irked me because he like vets get thrown up. It's the undertone of the whole video. You're exactly right. And like, honestly, like these giant social media doctors need to have a little bit better, like, I don't know. They need to be more sensitive to like throwing other professions under the bus. That's my opinion. And it just pissed me off. It's so easy because like vets never speak up for themselves, and there's no vet anything on social media. There's no vets are always this like silent, you know, shadow in the background. It's like the vet did this, and you have no idea who this person ever will be, right? So it's easy to just toss them aside. But like, I mean, the surgeon probably feels horrible about this happening, first of all, and they had to amputate the dog's leg after watching this happen, which means they had to do a really hard surgery after this happened, and that's got to be like very emotionally difficult to like be amputating this dog's leg and watching the surgery that you did just get washed away because you have to remove the leg.
It's a complication. It's a rare complication you never want to happen of any of your procedures. Everything we do in medicine has complications, and when they happen, like it's going to happen eventually, because that's just the nature of the beast. You do enough, you're going to meet that threshold, but you never want to see it, and it upsets you when it does happen. But this is just, it's the nature of the beast. That's why there's benefits and risks of everything.
That's the bad part of this. That's why you got to explain to patients you get consent before you do anything, because you got to let them know that there are benefits and risks.
And actually, I guarantee you his dad signed some sort of consent form that explained all this too, at the very least.
Of course.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's frustrating because he made a poor decision based on like letting his dad communicate this 100% and not having any involvement. And then the outcome, there's a complication that evolves from this. And it's like, well, technically, like I could have made more conscientious effort to like be a part of this decision tree. And then maybe it could have been avoided. But now it's like, instead of being like starting from the beginning, you're just like, oh well, the vet probably did something wrong and they should have told me more information and stuff like that.
Right.
It's kind of hypocritical
Anyway.
for a human doctor to do stuff like that. It's like, I mean, patients say
Well,
that kind of stuff all the time.
Also, like, you mean to tell me stuff like this doesn't happen in human medicine?
Oh no,
all
it
the time.
happens all the time.
Of course it is all the time.
Yeah, same
And
thing.
I'm also willing to bet that it's happened to him and or his dad throughout the course of their career at some point, and it wasn't their fault.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if something
Like-
gets infected, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
like why
that's
didn't you prevent it from being infected? You're like, sometimes you can't.
My whole career is based off surgeries getting infected.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, and my whole specialty is half of what I do is
50% of your practice is an abscess drain.
yeah, is
Intraabdominal
fixing
abscess.
surgeries that have become infected because it's just
you
it
do
happens.
do a lot of abscess drainage, because I remember somebody called you about that when I was there visiting you.
Oh, it's huge.
Oh, did that? Yeah, it happens
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, think of how many surgeries are going on every day in the hospital.
Yeah, and you were
He's
like, I
one.
can't do it, and they were like, okay, all right, bye.
It was probably too hard to get to her, so
Yeah.
but
There's something satisfying. I will say, sidetrack an abscess, like a CT guided abscess drainage.
yeah, it's
It-
great.
If
short
there's a
procedure.
big easy one you can get to, it's the most satisfying thing in the world to be
Oh
like,
yeah,
yoink, suck everything
you,
out.
you never know
Right.
what color you're gonna get. It's good.
Yeah, and you
Right.
suck it all out. Then you do a little post scan. You're like, oh, it's all gone. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. Feel better in no time.
Yeah.
All
All
right. I hate both of you. I wish to never speak to you again.
Okay.
Sounds
I'm just
good.
kidding.
Jimmy's got 1 unit on the Dolphins +4.
Yeah, 1 unit. Hey guys, it's great to have you back. Great to have you back in the States, stateside.
Yeah.
God,
States.
can we end this already?
Michael, when are we gonna go play golf?
I'm free a lot of weekends in October, so let's do that.
Okay, that sounds good. Come up here.
I'm gonna continue to not play golf.
I'll come up. I'll bring Caitlin's clubs. I'll come play.
You can just use mine.
Yeah, Jim used mine last time.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You just like at the same
Yeah.
time? Oh, yeah. Maybe I will.
He
Well,
ruined them,
if you got
I ruin them.
that's a Michael comment right there.
What? I ruin them.
God, that's such a Michael comment.
you- now, do you
use
honestly
my
think-
stuff and you ruined it.
Yep.
You
Now they don't
honestly
work at all.
think Michael would not have mentioned this on the group text in the last 6 weeks if I ruined them truly?
Oh yeah, he would have only
He
talked
would've
about that
They're
He
all
would have sent
broken.
a high res picture the next day of the
Yeah.
club face.
as if you're the
And it
insurance
would've
company.
Yeah, he would exactly.
They're literally so stupid.
All right. Bye. Oh,
All right, see
like
ya.
and guys, like and subscribe. DVM Cellini. That's it.
All right,
Dr.
see ya.
Dr. Cellini, bye.